welcome to the Family Childcare Experts Insights podcast. I'm Patricia Dischler, and as you can see, my wonderful partner, Donna Fowler, has not been able to make it with us tonight, but we have a wonderful guest that I can't wait for you to all meet who's doing some amazing things with family childcare. As you know, we like to bring you lots of information about what's happening across our nation, the good things that are supporting family childcare, the unicorn of the early childhood education field. And we're going to dive right into that. Diane, welcome to our
Thank you
podcast.
for your invite. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here and share our experiences with quality influential professionals, which is known as QIP, with your audience, and hopefully they take away a great experience.
Oh, I'm excited to meet you. I've heard great things about the work that you're doing in Philadelphia and with the quality influential professionals. So, a group of family child care providers. So, why don't you give us just a quick little background about just who your organization is and who you serve and what's going on right there, and then we'll dive into more
Okay,
detail.
that sounds great. So, Quality Influential was founded in 2004, formerly known as the Learning Circle. So, we became independent, orchestrated family child care providers of about 65 of us. And we share resources, trainings, assistance, providers in maintaining a high quality program throughout the regulations, professionalism, and update in early ECE. As we moved on, we currently provide support for licensing for unregulated, and group homes. So all of those entities we take part in, we service them and try to make them feel more comfortable in being that child care provider that offers business practices, family engagement, and organizational structure.
Oh, that sounds like such work going from that unregulated provider up into, those that have gone through regulation and aspire to even higher heights. Donna and I have always been a big fan of the entire spectrum of family child care. We've written lots about it before, and the entire spectrum needs support and understanding. And I think that's great that you guys there. About how many members do you have right now?
About 80.
Okay. And who's doing all this work? We have staff, we have board, we have
Oh,
volunteers.
we have a
Who are all the
board.
great
We
people
have a
making this
board.
happen?
I am Diane Gardner, the president. And my board members are Adrian Briggs, Minette Taylor, Cynthia M.B. Robinson, and Inez King. So all of those, and I should go back and just identify their roles. I am the president. Adrian is the vice president. Minette is the treasurer. Cynthia is the secretary, and Inez is our event coordinator. And as we move on, I can tell you about some of the events that we have and that has been successful.
Yes, I can see that you guys have a lot of different events that you're doing. I will say the one I'd like to start talking about, not necessarily an event, but I see the information about triage that you're doing.
That is the most
That got
great.
that gets my attention because for those listeners that have that know Donna and I and our work well, our work with the Balance Survey report has been about identifying the three parts of what really make a successful family child care provider. It's business and educator, which lots of people provide support for. But the third one we like to shine the spotlight on that everyone seems to be forgetting is that personal well-being. And that's what really caught my eye as I was looking and seeing some of the work that you guys are doing. So tell us a little bit about triage.
So this is our newly launched project, and it is triage, and that stands for teach, restore, influence, advance, gather, and empower. And was designed for providers in the quality QIP project. Working to improve conditions and well-being in Philadelphia home-based providers workforce is an effort to essentially provide a type. And with that, just to give you a little bit about, and we were sponsored, I don't want to forget, our sponsors was William Penn Foundation. So we got a grant, and this was our proposal to triage parents, our providers, community efforts. All of this will be incorporated into our vision. And for just to give you a little base of how we broke that down, if you're feeling burnt out, and we're right here, we're teaching, we're restoring providers. If they are feeling like throwing in the towel, because we've done a survey on it, we've had this marketing, we wanted to know not just our feelings, but what was there. If they felt burnt out, we would influence. Looking and improving your business, helping to make advances. Advance, that's the A in triage. The G in triage is if you're feeling isolated. We don't want family providers, neighbor relatives, anyone to feel isolated. We are here to gather you. And if you...
Now, I see you have, I think, is it monthly meetings that people can attend?
Monthly meetings. We just had one yesterday. Let me finish the last E. The E is for feeling overwhelmed, where you need help in lightening your load. We are here as a load. You can call us. We can talk with you through, not even just saying, tell you what to do. You just need that listening ear. So we're here to be that listening ear. And yes, we just had our monthly meeting on yesterday, which was fabulous. We had about 70, maybe like 50 people online. We had a consultant come in and give us some expertise on our taxes and what to look for in planning for 2024. And this is what we've been given an assignment. He will be back in January to see how we are making out with our assignments, that we won't fall through the cracks, because as educated business women, we want to be on top of our money and what we need to do. So he's just one of many. We often have guest presenters from organizations and corporations to come in and educate us on what we may know, don't know, or need strengthening in.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, it's just so important to build that sense of community with family child care providers, help them understand that they're not alone and all the challenges that they're facing, others have faced, and some have found some solutions, and they have people they can lean on and learn from to help them get through that, because we want to see them stay strong and stay in this business a long time. Family child care is so good for families. It's so good for communities to stay strong. They need that family child care option, and so we need to do everything in our power to make sure that, like you said, they stay strong businesswomen, that they and men, that they you know, become strong and high quality educators and professionals, but that they also, you know, take care of themselves and make sure that they feel a part of something.
We definitely want them to take care of themselves. We definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. So what are some of the events that you guys are hosting that bring these people together?
Well, first of all, I want to
solidify that sense of community.
I also, before we get into what we all do, we are in a strategic alliance with the Family Child Care Advisory Council, which is run by our First Corporation. And we align together because we all have certain strategies, but then we also share this need for one another. And that's the power of being in alliance. So we have a gala where we take off all our work clothes and scrubs and whatever we play with paint and all, and become an evening of elegancy. So this will be our third one, coming up July the 20th, 2024. This is our third one. As I mentioned before, Inez Gainey is our event coordinator, and me and her partner. And when we get the information, we will pass it along to you that you can share with your viewers. We won't have a problem with that. And it's just a night to say we appreciate you and how elegant you are. Not always in the trenches.
I think those nights are so important. Way back when I was president of the National Association for Family Child Care, during my presidency, we had started the accreditation night galas and the awards night, where we got all dressed up in long gowns. And I always teased everybody because that's the one night out of the year that I will wear 4 or 5 inch heels. And being 5'11" when I'm barefoot, that's quite a sight. But that was the one night where I was gonna put on my big girl shoes and the pretty dress, and it was just always so heartwarming to see the beautiful women showing up and have that opportunity to say thank you to them, to honor those that really went above and beyond and were there for each other or there for children and families, were there as a professional. And I think that's wonderful that the work that you do is including an event like that can really just shine on them and help them to feel appreciated, because this, in general, the early childhood education field is one of those places where we don't always get the appreciation that we deserve. And so kudos to your team for seeing the need.
And we have an annual barbecue because we take the summer off, July and August. So to start off the new year, which is in September, we have an annual barbecue. We have one of our providers who has one of the biggest yards that you can imagine, and she allows us to come over and take over her space, and we average about anywhere to 40 people to come, bring a cover dish. They're excited to bring their cover dishes. We give them the updates.
Nice potluck going on.
So those are our 2 signature main events, besides other things we do, but those 2 are the most fabulous to take you out of your element of being with little kids. Now you have a chance to talk to adults and make plans.
I love that you have one that's a real low-key kind of, gathering, and then you have one that's, that more formal event. So what a great balance to be able to offer to them.
And with our Strategic Alliance organization, we have a family child care conference where we can share information, vendors, so forth, like that, to show what you need to keep you afloat, to keep you in line, what's out here, what's the new regulations.
When does the conference typically take place?
April, I want to say. I hope I'm right.
Okay.
It escapes me right now.
Yeah. Most conferences are around April
May,
or fall.
Yeah.
I've been doing keynotes at conferences for 20 years, and every spring and fall, my family knows I'm going to be gone every weekend.
Yep.
Oh, that's wonderful. So lots of professional development, another opportunity to connect with each other. So you're hitting all 3 of those wheels in our balance survey. So love to hear the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
It's just incredible.
It's rewarding.
And the fact that you're collaborating with other organizations within Philadelphia, I think, is important as well. We are a part of a larger early childhood education field, and we need to establish ourselves as that. And your organization, is really representing those providers in that professional manner. As part of all of the organizations in Philadelphia and in your state that are there to support early childhood education.
And even though we are paying
it's a lot of great
the
work.
foundation, we don't want to leave our homegrown. We cannot leave our homegrown, which is one of our leading champions, to make sure we stay in alignment where we are. We got our 501c3. They helped us with those companies that can help us. Greg Nielsen.
Right.
So we always want to make sure we give them credit for being a part, to taking us through the steps of what we need to do next.
Yeah, Homegrown has done a lot for the field. They're finally making a connection between those who want to support family child care and organizations like yours that are doing that great work and just need a little hand to make it even better. So that's really amazing and wonderful.
Yeah, we're quite excited.
I did notice one little detail that I think would be really great for you to share, that when I was looking around your website, your membership is free.
Yes, it is.
That's very unusual for a small association or organization. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
It just came to be. We didn't. We're not trying to, should I say, make a profit off providers. Not at this point.
Right.
We want them to feel comfortable.
So you obtain your funding through sources like homegrown and other grants that you're getting, and then all the benefits are just there for the provider.
And it's the education. But as we grow, we will soon put it in. But we want them to know that this is a safe space. This is a place where you can learn and be educated. This.
I think that's a really incredible model, and I think it's important to share with listeners. You know, we have a lot of people that come to us, to family child care experts, that want support on association growth, especially state family child care associations. And I think for a long time, I mean, I've been a part of state and national associations for family child care for over 20 years now, and associations have always tried to kind of trip by on, you know, what little bit they could gather from membership dues, and it was never enough to really do all the work that was necessary to do. And it didn't reach everyone because not every provider had the means to pay for membership, and that was something that was hard. I mean, I remember, you know, many conversations on both state and national level where we would talk about how, but we want all the providers in our state to be able to experience this and to be a part of it, and it was really difficult to reach them if they weren't members. And there are places, there are organizations. Maryland is a good example where you automatically become a member at no cost to your local association, and then the local associations are the ones that are members of the state association, and all the providers go along with that. And I'm starting to, you know, think that's a good model. It's something that we're looking at a little bit for some of the other states that we're organizing. I think it's in some ways parallel to what we're seeing happening in just for the cost of child care. You know, for many years, all child care businesses were trying to make ends meet and provide high quality based off of what parents could pay for care. And we're at that place where we recognize very openly now that just the fees from parents is not going to be enough.
Correct.
The cost of quality care, the true cost of quality care is too high to put it on the backs of parents, especially young parents with children. You know, it's just not a time to be putting that big of a cost item on their lap. And so we're trying to find alternative ways to do that. And I think the field, as far as memberships and associations and organizations that support the professionals in this field, have kind of come to that place too, where we can't put that on the backs of the people working so hard to make these good things happen in our field. We have to find a different way to support them and fund them. Thankfully, wonderful organizations and foundations recognize the importance of that work, like the ones that you've received the grants from and the support through Homegrown. So hopefully that will continue, so that
we plan on
really
it right
see
now. The
providers get the support they deserve.
Yes, because we want them to have the tools to do what they need for their business, and that in our meeting, once you leave, you attend, everything we talked about, all the slides, everything, you are given that. Once you register, you are able.
And I really appreciate that you're also inclusive of the unregulated family child care providers. I mean, if we only include in our organizations that are providing support, if we only include those that can afford a high membership fee and are already regulated, well, they're already fairly successful if they can do that. And the ones that really need our support are the ones that maybe haven't organized enough to become regulated yet, or maybe they have and they've started and they're regulated, but they still need that support and care to really grow their business. And for you to be inclusive of everyone that needs that support and care and that sense of community, I think is a game changer, really. And I can see it doing some really great things in Philadelphia.
That's why we're going to triage them. We're gonna triage every one of them that calls and asks for help. We won't leave them.
Oh, that's awesome. I know I'm going to get to visit a family child care provider on Tuesday this week. I'm actually in
Oh,
Philadelphia
okay.
right now. So I can't wait to see if she's involved
What's
with
her
your
name?
organization. And if not, I will be making sure that I let
Tell
her
me her name
know.
or their name.
Actually, I don't know the
Oh,
name yet.
they might be
I go
already with
along
us.
with the
We have somebody.
might be already with you.
Right.
Yeah. I'm here working with the Philly pre-K
Oh, okay.
coaches,
Okay.
and so I'm here for the coaches.
Okay.
So I coach the coaches.
Okay. Because I
We're
was
gonna
like,
go visit a few of the people that they support,
okay.
and I'm
Is
looking forward
they
to
are all
it.
home-based providers?
We're gonna see. We see a mix
Okay.
of the home based as well as the
Okay.
center based. So we're gonna
All
see
right. Just drop my name.
few of
They'll
each
tell
of
you.
those.
We are not ashamed. We are
Definitely,
not
we'll
ashamed. We have a good quorum
be
of people that
sharing
come.
that information. Oh, all right. So, what would you say would be the next big thing coming up that people could look for and become a part of in your organization?
Um,
You
right.
have an event coming up or
We
some training?
Well, we just had a training, so we will be the part two will be in January. So we just had
Okay.
it, and then we're working with our partners, the Family Child Care Advisory Council. So we are not sure. The event should be coming up in December, but we're not sure. We have another month to a few more weeks to decide what's going on. But we are planning
Okay.
events where, besides the bigger events, we can have little intimate things like bowling and whatever they have. We
Oh,
had
fun.
we had a survey put out, so when the survey comes back, we will have more ideas of things that people like to do, and then we can see if we can make accommodations at a location that will service everyone.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, well, we're a big fan of surveys. That's pretty much our bread and butter is the survey providers so that people really listen to them. So it's really great that you take the time to, survey your membership and really make sure you're meeting their needs along the way.
Right.
Can you share the website with everyone before we wrap up today?
QIPPA.org. And if you want to call us, you can call us at 856-336-8770.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Diane, for sharing all the exciting work. It is such a beautiful community that you've built. I think it's very inspirational. I really hope that a lot of our listeners that are thinking about, how do we pull providers together? How do we uplift them? See the importance of building that sense of community like you have and can learn from that. So, thank you for being my guest. I definitely want to see you back here when you've got those wonderful events happening so we can make sure everyone knows about them. Thank you again, Diane, for being my guest today. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all of our listeners and watchers. Again, you can find us on our YouTube channel for Family Child Care Experts. Please visit our website, familychildcareexperts.com, and reach out to us. Let us know, what's happening in your neck of the woods and what kind of great things are happening for family child care. And hopefully, if we build a community here on our podcast of sharing lots of great ideas, and our entire nation of family child care providers will feel the love and support that they deserve to have. So thank you all, and we look forward to having conversation again next time. All right, good night.